I think we're live. Hello, 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 everyone. Kelli and I are back with more fun.
Yes, we are.
Because we are, right? So for those of you that are new to us, hello, my name is Brooke-Sidney. I am a transformational coach, often called the Upgrade Queen, and I have the beautiful Kelli Kemp with me. She is an intuitive healer, a nutritionist, and an herbalist. She's the bomb. Kelli.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are back, and this time we're here to talk about cannabis and detoxing. Now, there are all sorts of angles we could take this, so we're going to touch on a few. But I think a lot of people want to know about how to basically beat a drug test. If you have a urine test or even a blood test.
Yes.
And you can research on the internet for a lot of this stuff, but you don't really know if it's going to work. I've had to do this a couple times, so I've had some successes here.
You don't.
But what? I
said you don't say.
Yeah, just a few. Actually, the first time I had to do this, I was 16. That was fun. Let's talk about a couple of methods right quick. Okay, so the tried and true one that I use is you get some Japanese detox tea. You can find it in the tea aisle at your grocery store. You will need, I will tell you first, you will need 1 box of Japanese diet tea, 2 32-ounce bottles of cranberry juice, and 1 gallon of water.
Okay, let me pause right now. And let me just say this to everybody who's watching. This video, this information is for educational and entertainment purposes only. We are not giving per se medical advice. We are talking about things that have worked for some people in some cases that they've done and chosen to do on their own by their own free will. So if there's anything that you have questions about or whatever, feel free to ask us. But as always, consult your own physician. I just feel like I had to say that. Just people that are like today, and
these statements have not been approved by the FDA. We are not licensed medical professionals. We are not giving medical advice. I am sharing my experience of what worked for me and what has worked for a couple of people that I know, a couple of clients that I've had, as well as what the research says not to do, because there's been people out there just trying stuff and ended up in the hospital. First combination is Japanese diet tea, cranberry juice, and water. You will need to drink this tea a minimum of 3 times a day. Stay near a restroom because you will need it. You were to drink the 32 ounces of cranberry juice in one day, the first one, and then the second one in the next day, and drink a gallon of water a day. You are going to be spending most of your time in the bathroom. Just telling you that right now.
Now, you said cranberry juice. Like, I think that's important to talk about, because cranberries are like very powerful and cleansing, right?
Yes, they are. They clean they are good antiseptics for the kidneys. So they are good cranberries are excellent kidney detoxifiers. That's why they're good if you have a UTI. They're good for feminine health. They're really good for the kidneys. So you basically are cleaning out your kidneys. The Japanese diet tea works to clean out your colon. So if you're cleaning out all of this, then, when people go to look at it, they don't see what they shouldn't. But this does not work if it's a blood test. I want to be clear. This does not work for a blood test. This was strictly a urine test that I used this method for. 2 instances where I have seen something else work for a blood test is Certo, CERTO. It's like gelatin. You can Google this to get the recipes and to read all of the warnings and things, but I have seen it work with urine and blood. However, sometimes you get a savvy tester and they test for Certo. So again, none of this is 100%. If you know that you are, going to be tested for a job or the military or whatnot, I would give yourself at least a 30 days to detox minimum. That's what I recommend. But sometimes we have to detox in a pinch. One thing I will say, warning, there have been a lot of things on the internet about taking niacin to detox your blood and your urine from cannabis. Don't do that. People have ended up in the hospital overdosing on niacin.
Yikes.
You know, you're supposed to take 100 to 200 grams. People are taking like 5,000 grams of niacin. Don't do that. While I do recommend niacin for a get out of work free card, that's a whole other conversation. I do not recommend it for trying to detox for cannabis.
So what about like the old, like tried and true, people talk about golden seal. What
So
about
they test for golden seal now as well.
So it did work. It's just that
it did work, but now they test for it. But if you're going to do it, if you're going to start like 30 days with a golden seal and with niacin and some other herbs that detox your system, like Shishandra berry and things like that, do that early. Do not try to pass a cannabis test with 24 to 48 hours notice with golden seal. It might work and you will likely get caught doing it.
Wow.
And then there is, of course, the good old fashioned synthetic urine. Yes, you can buy synthetic urine.
What? You're kidding.
You're kidding. You can buy some.
Like, so why can you just go to a friend who you know doesn't smoke weed and be like, hey?
No. I mean, like, you order from a company that makes synthetic urine. Yeah. I'm not talking about the old switcheroo where you have someone that doesn't smoke peanut cut. No. I'm talking about man-made urine that somehow works. I think that too, they've gotten kind of hip to that a little bit, but it depends on how sophisticated your tests are. If your test is of the hair variety, I'm so sorry, you're just kind of screwed. Unless you're going to shave your head like Britney did.
That's right. That's the whole thing. That's the background story about Britney. Like, wasn't she under like, was it like something with her kids? And
yeah, she was under watch, that conservatory thing that her dad did, and she couldn't have any drugs in her system. So she like shaved her head. You can go as, I know that in aerospace industries, sometimes they take the hair from lower regions because that's cut less often.
Your pubes are on notice, you guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I only know that because I know a couple of people, including my father, that had to go through the hair test. They took a patch of his hair here and a patch from his pubes.
Wow.
And, yeah. So it's serious though. If you're applying for an aerospace industry job, before you even apply, I would start detoxing. No joke. But you know, that's.
Does it matter how long you have been consuming it? Like, for example, if someone has been consuming, just say for like a month, you know what I mean, versus someone who's been consuming for years.
That all depends on how much you work out, you know, like how much you sweat, what kind of diet you do have, how effective are your elimination organs. I'm not going to say that, oh, it's definitely 30 days or, oh, well, if you've only smoked once, then 2 weeks. Again, it depends because cannabis stores in your fat. So again, how well are you burning your fat? You know, that'll depend on how much of it is left in your blood.
So it's really personal. It's really personal. Like
it's really personal.
How fast you burn out, like how fast you normally clean out
how fast you metabolize and how efficient your detox mechanisms are. Again, 30 days, the 24, 48 hour kind of passing things, I'm telling you now, it's going to be a hit or miss. It's going to be a hit or miss.
Okay, people, you guys are hearing it first here. So what else in terms of, I mean, I know for those of you that are just watching us, we have been coming on having lots of fun conversations about detoxing and all things whole body, whole person health. If you missed our live stream on Monday, we were talking about the 7 signs of why you actually need to detox. We've got an all ladies one coming up about getting your pee popping on Friday, I think at 7:00, right? Is that right, Kelli?
Yes, Friday, 7:00. So
that's like our little late night edition.
I think we're going to have some wine for that one.
I think so too. You can have wine, you can have any other things.
You can have liquid cannabis as well.
Whatever feels good, you can choose that. But we would love to invite you to our detoxing masterclass that we're having next Monday, March 15th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
We're going to talk about really in depth, like what to detox with, how to detox, how to get snatched, really, like how to get healthy weight loss through detoxing, and so much more.
And how cannabis can be a part of your detoxing program.
Let's talk about that. Like you can actually, if your goal is not to get rid of cannabis in your system, right? That cannabis can be a part of your detox.
CBD can help relieve anxiety. We know it helps relieve pain. So when you're detoxing, you tend to kind of go through it emotionally. Because you're putting your body under circumstance. It's like, what the F are you doing to me? And it can send your emotions and your hormones at first, you know, and bring everything to the core, bring everything to the fore. I'm sorry. So a good way to help manage that, along with my emotional support tincture, is to use CBD for calming, to help sleep. It can help with irritability, and things like that. So for both getting cannabis out of your system and for using cannabis while you're detoxing and making it a part of your health regimen, it has a lot of uses. Cannabis is a very, very versatile herb. You know, it's more than just something to recreationally get high with. We all know that.
Right. That's what
but they're finding so many uses for it. So we're going to talk about how cannabis and CBD products can be a part of your detoxing regimen, as well as, you know, how it can just help you in your daily life.
Yes, but we have to warn you that if you're using cannabis while you're detoxing, if you have a weight goal, like to lose weight, it might work against you a little bit because of, right, like the munchies and those type of
munchies don't. Okay, so especially indica strains tend to give you the serious munchies. The purples will make you eat your weight in food. So if you are detoxing for weight loss, or if you're just trying to lose weight, you should probably put the cannabis down, or find a strain that doesn't do the munchie effect. If you're calling your local dispensary, always ask the bud tenders about the munchie effect. They usually have pretty useful information about the different strains. The seasoned cannabis users are like, yeah, I know that already. But if there are any new cannabis users or people who are thinking about using cannabis, you want to take all of that into consideration. Do your research first, or talk to a seasoned cannabis user who can kind of help you navigate what's what with what's THC versus CBD, what's marijuana versus cannabis. It's all the same. What's hemp versus THC, all of that, you know, you can, yes, there are differences. And so you can, you know, I advise you to get some, do your own research first.
Now, for the people that are just new to this entire conversation, I just thought about this, right? Is CBD detectable in your system?
They're usually looking for the THC compound. There are still some places that are very strict, and even the CBD compound is frowned upon. But again, CBD is not illegal. THC is still illegal on the federal level. So it also depends on the kind of job you're going for. If you're going for a federal job, it would just be better to not have any traces of cannabis in your system,
or the traditional cannabis with THC. Yes. Just okay, because I know there might be people tuning in that don't have a lot of understanding. I know people really are seriously still confused about CBD, whether that's, you know, what's not miracle, it is a miracle for some people, but medical marijuana, right? It's still marijuana, people. Right, it's marijuana, which is different than, say,
hemp is still marijuana. It just has, so at least in the state of California, in order to be considered hemp, it has to have less than 3% of THC. THC is the compound that gives you the head change, makes you high. CBD does not contain THC, which means it does not make you high, which is why it's legal and why hemp is legal. hemp products, hemp oil, hemp, bags and textiles made out of hemp. That is legal.
And
The
protein
THC,
powder at Trader Joe's.
yeah, exactly. Hemp seeds, that's all legal because it does not have the THC. So you want to make sure, what you're looking for, depending on what your goals are here.
Right.
You will not get high from CBD products, in case people still didn't know that. No, you will not get high from CBD products.
So if you guys are watching this after Kelli and I tune out to have our own, days and lives and fun and whatever, make sure you put your questions below. But more importantly, we would love to have you join us in our masterclass next Monday, 5 p.m., March 15th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, where we're talking all things detox. And our goal truly is, we only got about 90 days, 3 months until summer is officially here. And so for those of you that are even thinking about making, body changes to feel good on the inside and outside, now's the time. We cannot wait until the 5th.
For those of you who are already off your New Year's resolutions and missed our first round of masterclass, right, and you're still feeling like, oh, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, I didn't handle my business. Okay, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Sign up for our masterclass and get snatched. You got 90 days.
Yep. Or else you've been, partaking too much in cannabis and having too many munchies. It's time for you to get into the detox. So all the links and the information are below. If you have any questions, again, feel free to pop them in. And we will be on again on Friday. So in 2 days at 7 p.m. This one is for the ladies and for the men who are just curious and want to support the ladies, but it is generally geared towards ladies.
This will be a definite ladies conversation.
About getting the pee popping, getting all that area down below in its best possible health, and how detoxes and just general wellness will help you out in that area. It's a conversation you do not want to miss. So take care, you guys. Thanks, Kelli.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Brooke.